So today I wanted to talk about self-awareness. It's just something that's not discussed enough in trading. You hear a lot of the older traders talk about it, and I read about it a lot in books. And just in general, how important it is to have self-awareness. And today was one of those days where it saved me. You know, I had a small green day, but I went 1 for 4. So I had 3 losses, 1 winner, 25% win rate. And I'm still finishing the day green. So clearly I've done something right to have that many losers and still be up. We'll get into the trades in a little bit here and go over them, and you can see exactly how I mitigated a lot of those losses. But at the end of the day, it was self-awareness itself that I actually understood today and got to listen to my emotions and listen to what I was telling myself, or what my mind, my body, the energy, everything was kind of saying to me at that moment. And it was that was the big win of the day for me, was just being able to have that self-awareness, to get to a point where I had some small losses, very unneeded losses, but I still had them, took the losses, realized something was not right. I'm not feeling the emotion. Something is, either I'm going on tilt here or something's kicking in, and I just locked my account out. So there was plenty more moves in the market after that, and people still were making money all over X, all over the Discord and everything. People are still in trades and killing it. So, but for me, that lesson of that self-awareness and then being able to actually understand it today and feel it was a huge, massive win, massive. So let's just get into what I was seeing at the desk in the morning, and we'll kind of walk through the trades, and I'll try and do my best to explain how I was feeling, the emotions I was going through, and kind of what led me to lock my account out and to have that self-awareness and just kind of tap into that self-awareness more or less. So let's get into what I was seeing at the desk when I got here in the morning. So I had a few levels of interest that I wanted to watch in the overnight session. And as you can see, yesterday we had a gap up, which is great. On Sunday we had a gap down. And look at here. Last night we had a gap up, which was awesome, which is just basically telling us that the market is hopefully ready to move in more of a bullish direction. You know, we're nowhere near these lows anymore, so I'm going to call this the higher low for now. And we're starting to trend and starting to make these moves up, right? I have value area low, point of control, value area high laid out, but clearly we gapped up above everything, so these are not in my interest anymore. What was in my interest was we had a naked point of control. I had it on the chart. I took it off because I was trading and didn't want it there to confuse me, but it was already tapped. So we had 2 naked point of controls above us. And one was basically at 54.40, I believe it was, or 54.35, somewhere around here. And into the overnight session, as you can see, we gap up. Sellers try to get a little bit of control here. Buyers step right back in, and boom, we're above the start of day VWAP, and we're above all of the key levels for me. We're above this news tariff VWAP, which, as you can see here, has just been a little bit of a battle all week. So looking at this, we tapped this first naked point of control, and now we have this next one above us. And coming into the morning session, I came to the computer 5 minutes before the New York Open. I was just doing my gratitude journal, doing my daily contract, and then I was going to have a quick cold plunge and then come back to the desk, because I normally won't trade until the opening range is set, so 15 minutes after the New York Open. While sitting at the desk, I turn on my book map at 5 to 9:30, at 9:25 basically, just to get the CVD running, because it resets at 9:30, and I want to have the true reading of the CVD by the time I get to the desk. So as I open book map and I just have a quick peek at the charts, this is what I see. And I'm looking now to get into a trade, because now this second naked point of control has not been tapped. And this leads me to the first trade. So this is the first trade. As you can see back here, we have tapped this first point of control that I was watching. Now we have this second one behind us. As we get this pullback and price starts to pull back up here again, I'm thinking this is going to get tapped. I'm going to go for a quick scalp. I put on 10 micros. I wasn't thinking clear at the time, but I just thought, we'll get a move up here and I'll catch this quick. I believe it was like 15 points or something. And what do? I get in 10 micros. Price comes up, it starts to pull back on me, and I have just, I'm not thinking clearly, but I had a stop brought up to, I think it was this candle. It was $80 a risk, and it was all I was comfortable with. If this thing turned around on me, I got stopped out. It is what it is. And what happens? Turns around on me, I get stopped out. I'm down. I think it worked out to $75. Now, for me, it's $75, but unneeded trade. If I was going to take this trade, I should have had my stop back down here somewhere, and even down here somewhere, and let the idea play out. But I knew I was going to go and have a cold plunge before the market opened, and I wanted to have the opening range set in. So what did I do? I just forced this, rushed myself out of it, forced to stop, took an unneeded loss. I'm down $80 to start my morning. If I would have just played this trade like my original thesis and stuck in it like I was actually trading, not rushing something, sitting at the desk for a few minutes before I had to have a cold plunge, this idea would have played out perfectly. We pulled back down, and look what happened right before the open. Into the open, boom, we tapped this naked point of control. TP hit, I would have been good, and then this news comes in, and this is where that we get the volatility, and that'll be my next trade. But yeah, that's the first trade. So total bummer, unneeded, down $75. The one silver lining is I had a hard stop set here. I got stopped out. I took it, ate it, was content with it and walked away. But just again, $80 unneeded. You add these up over the rest of the period of 1 year. I bet you it adds up to a lot. And it's probably something we'll do at the end of the year. We'll review that. Getting into the next trade. This was the next trade. So I get to the desk. I didn't see any of this news come in that, there's a deal with China on the tariffs, and they're going to cut this back and do this, and the U.S. government's going to do this, and we get this big bullish candle. Price pulls back to the New York VWAP. I get to the desk here somewhere, and I'm just watching this, and I'm watching price hold the New York VWAP, and what is it doing? It's holding this level again at 54.60. And as we get above the New York VWAP again, a lot of people in our group are long in here, and I decide to get long here. I go in just 5 micros now because I'm kind of, a little bit scorned from this trade I took earlier in the morning here. And with this volatility, 10 micros could just easily smoke my max loss for the day on the trade. So we get in here, price bumps around, we get a push higher. Bookmap is just going nuts, absolute nuts. It's lit up like a Christmas tree. And I start to realize I want to take some size off now. So I take one off here. I take one more here. I should have my original plan was to take one here, and then I was going to take 3 off here and leave one on like I did yesterday. And again, I wasn't thinking clearly. I thought I got 5,500 stuck in my head. We're going to take 5,500. We're going to take 5,500. What happens? We hit the opening range. These orders at 5,500 don't fill. Boom. We get a push back down. So what I do is I close 3 more here on this move back down, and then I have my stop moved up into profit here, and I get stopped out. I'm up 323 on the trade. So, all in all, not bad for playing this volatility. $323 is great for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 minutes of work. And, it took away that $80 loss from the morning, so I'm up 240 or something like that. Yeah, 240 on the day. And this is where the self-awareness started to kick in. And I said to myself, and I actually text Christine, who's my accountability partner when it comes to trading, and I said to her, I think I'm going to lock my account out. She was up $192 across 3 accounts, so basically up 600. And I said to her, I'm like, you should lock yours out too. And she's been having a little bit of a struggle lately. So I gave her the advice to lock her account out, and I'm like, I can feel myself kind of I feel something going on, but I think I should lock myself out. And I didn't lock myself out. I just kept watching the trades and staring at the price action. And what do? I let all this stuff shake out here behind us. You get this news pin, it kind of turns me off. I let it shake out. And then as we get price to pull back down, I said in our ASFX live stream that 54.60 is a level that I can see price coming back down to here and bouncing as people got in short here. I said, guys, watch out. I could see price doing this. What do? I keep listening to all the noise. Price comes back down here. Hey, you know what? I'm going to try and scalp this down to here. There's a few more people that get short on the break of the New York. I get short 1 micro. I have a super tight stop because I'm not giving back those gains, and I just think I'm going to scalp. This is going to move down. I'm thinking that this is just going to do that. I'm not even thinking it's going to do any of that. Comes back on me. I'm only 1 micro. Get stopped out 60 bucks. We get this next push down. I'm still being stubborn. I got it, like, I got to remind myself, hey, you said 54.60. Price could bounce there. This is a level of support. If you go back and look at the charts, it's a clean level. And again, I want to convince myself otherwise, or maybe I just put it out of my head and I forgot about it. And now the self-awareness is really starting to kick in. So again, I let the monkey on my shoulder get me to enter again, the same kind of thesis, same ideas before that. Now, okay, we did this, now we're breaking this to the downside again, and we're going to come down this time. What happens? Turns right back around, gets stopped out, I'm down 43. So basically my $240 I was up for the day, I'm down 130. I'm up 130 now, so I gave back roughly, if you add it up, including the morning loss, I gave back over half of my profits for the day. So yeah. What do I got to say? The self-awareness kicked in, and as soon as I got stopped out here, the next thing I did is I went up and I locked my account. And for me, I've done this a lot in the past where I've never locked the account. I told myself I'm going to, and then I would give myself credit that I didn't lock it out and I didn't trade anymore, and I said that's discipline, true discipline. But the self-awareness was strong today, and I really tapped into it, and it's telling me, hey, Randy, something's not right. And what I would have done is I would have gotten long here, I would have came here, 5,500 didn't fill again. I would have been looking to take profits up here again, trying to be just a hero. I would have had small size on, so I would have needed a big move to get back these losses. And what does it do? It pulls back down again. So the self-awareness saved me big time today. And it, when you come back here and you look at the calendar, this is what I wanted to look like when I was trading, right? When I trade. This last week I had a little less size on. This week I decided to size up. I have $6,000 of drawdown in this account. I need to size up to get to the profit target I want to hit. 2 days, just 2 trades, I'm up. Today 4 trades, I'm still green, small green, so I'm not upset at all. But just, that's a lot of work for $136. But overall, I'm up on the week still. And if you look, last week I was up 800. This week I'm up 1.6 or 1,600. And we'll see how these next 2 days go. And if everything works out good, I should hit my profit target this week. And if I don't, that's fine. I'm going to Tampa next week. I'm stoked for Tampa. I fly out on Wednesday, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4 days of trading left, and I'm going to be gone for the weekend and doing some networking and catching up and learning from a bunch of goats. So it's going to be exciting. But self-awareness again. I'm gonna hammer it. We need to as traders, especially new traders, we need to tap into our self-awareness and be aware of it and just understand those feelings, those emotions, the tingling in the fingers. I heard this on a podcast with Austin recently that he did with Tom Basso, and he talks about he feels this tingling and tightness in his fingers, and he knows to tap into it to kind of release it, and he knows where he's heading at that point. But yeah, just being in the zone, and for me, this 4 trades, 3 losers, 1 winner, and up 136 bucks is a big win for me. So comment, subscribe. I'm always grateful that you're along this journey with me, and I will catch up with you all tomorrow, and let's see how we can go into the end of this week and finish it up strong.